For our warm-up today, we're going to circle back and review our product property for exponents and our quotient property for exponents. Now, the product property for exponents tells us that if we have the same base, that's a real number. So in this case, we have a to the m power times a to the n power, and as long as our exponents are integers, then we can take those exponents and add them together. So if we have like bases being multiplied, we can add those exponents together. So let's put that into practice with our first example. We have 2 to the third power multiplied by 2 to the fourth power. We have like bases. The bases of both of these are 2. So that means we get to add those exponents together. So that means we would have 2 to the 3 plus 4 power, which would give us 2 to the 7th power. Let's go ahead and look at the next example of the product property for exponents. We have 2 to the 5th power. And now in this example, what does it mean when we don't see an exponent? A common mistake that students make is they think that this means that there is no exponent, but remember, when we don't see an exponent, we can put a 1 there. So 2 to the first power is the same as 2. So now we have like bases of 2 being multiplied together, so we would take 2 to the 5 plus 1 power, and that would give us 2 to the 6th power. Now, the quotient property for exponents has a similar concept. If we have like bases being divided, and as long as those bases are not 0, and as long as our exponents are integers, then when we have like bases being divided, we get to subtract those exponents, and we subtract the bottom exponent from the top exponent. Another way we can say that is top exponent minus the bottom exponent. So let's take a look at our first example. We have 2 to the 10th power divided by 2 to the 7th power. We have like bases, so we can take 2 to the 10 minus 7th power, which would give us 2 to the 3rd power. And looking at our last example, again, we have a situation where we have 2 and we don't see an exponent, but thinking back to what we just talked about up above, we know that that has an exponent of 1. So we have like bases of 2, so 2 to the 9th power divided by 2 to the 1st power would be 2 to the 9 minus 1 power, which would give us 2 to the 8th power. You'll notice that we'll keep reviewing and circling back to these skills and building off of them, because these are skills that we utilize throughout algebra and advanced algebra in the simplification process of our algebraic skills. Good work today. Get your guided notes ready to get started with your lesson.